what's up and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a soft glam makeup tutorial, the look that I am wearing right here. So if you guys want to see how to create this makeup look, definitely keep on watching. But first, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays, so I'd love to see you back here. But let's just get started on this makeup tutorial. All right, let me take this giant hat off so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'll just put it over there. So I started off today by prepping my skin. I first moisturized with the Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizer. This stuff is okay, not my favorite. I just ran out of my other moisturizer, so that's why I'm using this. And then I added on top this Dr. Jart Cicapair, I think that's how you say it, Tiger Grass color correcting cream, and I actually really love this stuff. I used to use this stuff like daily, but now I am running out, as you can tell, and this stuff is like pretty expensive for just a color corrector, so I only use it sparingly and when I really want my base to be kind of perfected. I didn't show you the before, but I do have a lot of redness here on my cheek right now, on my forehead and on my chin. My skin is freaking out from something, but this stuff does really help to kind of just smooth it out and to give it a little bit more of a dewy base to work with. And I feel like with soft glam looks, dewy skin looks the best. So I started off with that, and even though I do have those two things on my skin, I am gonna add like a primer-ish sort of thing on top. So today I'm going to use this Glam Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. I use this stuff pretty much as a primer, but it smells really good. It smells like oranges and I really love it, and it has like a nice dew to it, and I feel like it looks good under foundation. Another really good one, whoa, that is way too much. Another really good one is the Becca, I think this is the First Light priming filter. I know a lot of people like the backlight one too. Those ones look really pretty under foundation. And I forgot to mention, with the moisturizer and the color corrector, I put that stuff on my face a while ago and gave it a generous amount of time to kind of sink in and really work. So I feel like if you have the time to take that time and set it aside for your products to really soak into your skin, it does really help with like your foundation not really pilling up with all of the stuff underneath of it, and I just think your skin looks so much prettier that way. But obviously it's not practical for like every day unless you want to put your primer on and then go like have a cup of coffee or something and come back and do your foundation. So now that all of that is on, we are ready to get started on our face. Today I'm going to use the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. I've really been loving this stuff, and it hasn't been looking the best lately, but I have been switching up what I used underneath of it, so I'm hoping today that this will look pretty natural and dewy again. And my other foundation that I really like, the Physicians Formula, wow, I can't talk today, the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, is a little bit too dark for me, so we're going in with this right now. I also really want to try the Wet n Wild foundation, the new dewy one, so if you guys want to see like a review, first impressions, whatever on that, definitely let me know down below, because so many people love it and I love dewy skin, and it's so affordable too, so it's perfect if you don't really want to spend a lot of money on makeup, which, even though I love it, sometimes it's not practical for me to spend so much money on makeup, so I'm really excited to try that hopefully at some point in the future. But I'm just going to dot this on my skin, and then I'm going to take a wet sponge. This one is a little dirty, but this is a Real Techniques sponge, and I did dampen it quite a bit before I started this so that it wasn't like too soaked, but I think that having a damp sponge, while it does kind of shear out the coverage a little bit, I think that it makes your skin look much better than if you were to use just regular non-damp sponge. Today we are celebrating my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary. Isn't that crazy? They've been together for 6 years. I remember going to their 50th wedding anniversary, like I think they did like a vow renewal or something sort of ceremony, so I remember that 10 years ago. But today we are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary, and I'm really excited. We're going out to dinner to an Italian place and then going to my aunt's house afterwards for like pastries and desserts and stuff like that. And I was gonna wear a tighter white turtleneck, just because I thought that it would look cuter with that hat and everything in my outfit. But then I was thinking, like, I really shouldn't wear a tight shirt to go to an Italian place because I'm going to be having a lot of carbs, and then dessert after will just not mesh well with a tight top, if you know what I mean. So that's why I went with this little bit of a looser one. This sweater is from Romley. I can see if I can link it down below. It's not my favorite sweater. It's just like not the most comfortable, but it's kind of cute. The sleeves are a little short though. I actually might want to run out to the store and see if I can find a different white sweater to wear today because I'm not loving this one too much. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to prime my eyes too. Let me get that out of here. So I usually on the daily, I just put concealer on my eyelids to prime, but when I'm doing something that is like a little bit more event makeup, if you will, I like to prime my eyes. Today I'm using the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish primer, so I'm just gonna rub a little bit of that on my eyelids. I usually do this before I put my foundation on, like when I'm prepping the rest of my skin, but I just forgot to today. Alright, and then for concealer today, we're using the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is just the regular one, not the dewy one. I would have preferred the dewy one. I have used this regular one before, and it's not my favorite, but when I went to Ulta, I just wanted to grab like a cheap concealer because my Too Faced Born This Way one, which is like my absolute favorite concealer, was running out, and that one is obviously a lot more expensive than this one, but they didn't have the dewy one at the Ulta that I went to at the time. This one is okay. I mean, it covers a lot, but it does look pretty dry. You have to kind of really sheer it out for it not to look cakey, and just let it sink into the skin before setting it too, so it doesn't look too heavy. I'm also going to throw a little bit of this, just a tiny dot right there, and a little dot on my chin, just to kind of even it out a little bit. But I don't like to put too much in these areas because this foundation is pretty thick and I don't want it to look too heavy. Okay, so now that the concealer has sunk in for a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and set just my under eyes and a little bit in my smile lines here because my foundation does sink in there. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. I have this new vanity I will show you in my room tour, which is coming soon. I just want to find stuff to put on the walls and a little bit more decorations before showing you guys my room tour. But anyways, I have this vanity and it like flips up and everything is inside, and there's like a mirror that flips up. So whenever I do my makeup, in order to get my makeup, I have to flip it up to get everything that's inside. But then I don't have like much like counter space to, well, desk space, I guess, vanity space, to like actually set my makeup on top. So it's like a big hot mess when I do my makeup. Alright, so while that powder is just sinking into my skin and kind of meshing with the concealer for just a few moments, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows, and then I will be right back, wipe this powder off, and we will get started on the eyes. Alright, so I just finished up with my eyebrows. They're not the best, but I honestly really don't care because my eyebrows are such a mess right now. They need plucked or waxed or something so badly. And usually I would just pluck them like every so often to make them look a little bit cleaner because I don't like to get them waxed like every time I need them done. But I can't find my tweezers anywhere and it's making me so mad. So I might just have to buy a new pair. But anyways, I'm going to brush off this powder now and kind of just tap it into the skin lightly so that we don't get any like streaks or anything. Alright, now we are ready to get started on the eyes, and honestly with soft glam makeup looks, the eyes are always the star of the show. So today we're going to be using my absolute favorite So Dated palette from ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. This has become like one of my favorite palettes in my collection, if not my favorite. I just think that it is so pretty, and you can obviously get more like bold, crazy looks with this because there is like this bright pop here and like some blues and purples. But honestly, I love the soft glam look that I can get out of this palette. I just think that it is so pretty and I can't wait to show you guys. So let's just go ahead and get started with it. Okay, like I said, ignore my eyebrows because they are looking so horrible, but I just moved you guys a little bit closer so that you could see a little better. Sorry, I have to find my brush here and this thing. First I am just gonna go ahead and set my eyes a little bit with this shade here. It is my Precious. It's just like a white eggshelly sort of shade that works well for that. Also, I know a lot of people like to do their eyes first, but with this palette and these colors, you don't really have to worry about fallout, and I like having my skin done, like just my base, like my foundation, concealer done while I'm doing my eyes, so that it can really sink into the skin, because I feel like my powders and stuff that I put on top of my foundation, like blush, bronzer, all of that, just looks a little bit muddy when I don't let my foundation sink in first, and just for efficiency, I like to let it sink in while I do my eyes. So that is why I went in this order and usually go in this order. But anyways, I am going to mostly be using like these shades here, like these pinky, kind of a little bit brownie shades for this makeup look. So first we're gonna start off with the shade Royal Jewels here. It's kind of like a peachy nude shade, and we're just gonna put this in our crease kind of a little bit messily, because it's just gonna be like a transition base shade. Let me get my hair out of my face because it's in the way. I'm gonna take this on this fluffy Farrah brush. Honestly, you can use whatever brush that you have, but I do recommend something that is a little bit bigger, not as precise, because you kind of just want this shade to be everywhere. I think that these sort of peachy pink neutral shades are perfect for these sort of makeup looks, because they are pretty light, but they still have that like wow and like just really pretty factor about them, and I feel like the overall look looks so good with them, and it's honestly not that hard, and these colors are very forgiving, so you don't have to be like super precise with your placement. Okay, next I am actually going to go into the shade down here. This is You're a Gem, and it is a little bit deeper and more peachy than the previous shade that we used. I'm going to take this on a little bit more of a precise brush, but still pretty fluffy, and I'm gonna kind of focus this on my outer corners and kind of blow it out a little bit, so the outer V, but I'm still going to incorporate this into my crease too after I do this. Lastly, for the matte shades, this is a pretty simple eye look. There's only like 5 shades total, but we're gonna take this shade up here. This is Rose Quartz, and I am just going to focus this on my outer corners here, just to kind of deepen it up a little bit, but blend it really well so that it doesn't look too harsh and like a separate color completely from these kind of peachy shades, because this one is a little bit of a like a deeper undertone, almost like a light brown, but still like rosy. And I'm gonna take this on a angled Luxie brush. This is the 207 medium angled styler shading brush. Why did I say styler? But I'm just gonna pat this on the outer portion here and kind of blending it on a diagonal, so it goes like from this outer V into my lash line. I'm just gonna go back into this brush with nothing on it, but kind of just the residue of the previous shade that we used, and just kind of pat all of this together, especially right here in the crease part where that kind of deeper shade meets with the other two, and just soften it out a little bit and kind of go around the edges to make sure there are no harsh lines. It's okay if this part right here is a little bit harsh because we are going to add something to our lids, so don't worry about that. And now it is actually time to go in with a shimmer. Obviously you could leave it more of like just a matte look, but personally I really like shimmers, especially for something that is a little bit fancier, or if you just like wearing shimmers on the daily like I do. But I'm going to go into this Sunstone shade here. It is kind of like a peachy gold, and we are going to take that on this flat Alexi brush. This is a double-sided one. All of the like writing has rubbed off on this, so I don't know what this brush is, but you can take any flat kind of more densely packed brush and just toss this on the lid, kind of mixing in between patting and swiping it on for the best application, and to kind of spread it around a little bit and make sure where it meets with this deeper shade that you kind of blend it together. We will go back into like the mattes on the outside to blend it out. Alright, and then back in with that angled brush, I am going to mix together rose quartz and Eurogem, so this deeper shade and then this kind of brighter coral peachy color, and go back in, I don't know why I said it like that, to this outer portion and kind of just buff it a little bit more, especially in the region where it meets the shimmer. And then this may seem a little excessive, but I'm just going to go and tap that shimmer shade back on a little bit in case we lost the intensity while blending it out. And then I am actually going to add just a little bit to my lower lash line. I'm going to take a fluffier brush. This one is, I got it from Ipsy, it's another double-sided one, but this one is kind of a more tapered but still fluffy brush, and I am going to go in with this lightest shade that we used first and take that on my lower lash line. I don't want it to be too intense, which is why I am going in with the lightest shade that we used. Obviously you could do this and then build it up to be a little bit darker with a deeper shade or add a liner or something, but I just like to go in with this light shade to keep it really soft but still kind of defined. Okay, and then honestly you could stop here and just add some inner corner highlight if you're into that, and some brow bone highlight. But my favorite thing to do with these sort of soft glam looks is add a shimmer topper to my lid. So I'm actually going to take this diamond shade in this palette. You can buy this, I'm pretty sure, as a single shade, maybe two on ColourPop, but ColourPop honestly has so many of these shades. This is their Super Shock shadow, and it is actually, well, they have one in this palette here. I don't think they do that all that often. I mean, they might now, but I don't think previously that they incorporated the Super Shock shadows into palettes very often. But these just have like a very wet consistency, and I love adding that to my lid to just kind of get that kind of dewy look to match the skin. So I'm just going to take some on my finger here and tap it on there, and then go ahead and not rub, but just tap it on to mainly my lid where I put the other shimmer shade. But I don't mind if it gets a little bit messier and onto the crease. That looks so pretty. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do some inner corner highlight just because I am always into that. So I'm going to take this diamond shade, or no, that's what I just used. I'm going to take this pearl shade here, which is in the middle of the palette. It's just this brighter white pearly shade, and highlight mostly my inner corners with it, but also my brow bone a tiny bit. I don't want to highlight my brow bone too much because they do have a lot of stray eyebrow hairs there, so I don't really want to highlight those. I'm not even gonna dip back in. I'm just gonna take what's left on my brush and highlight that. Alright, so now that the eyeshadow is done, we are going to go ahead and apply mascara. I'm gonna use the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara because this is my all-time favorite mascara. So I will be right back after I apply this. Right, so now that the eyes are done, I am gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. So first we're gonna start off with bronzer. I'm gonna use the bronzer from Fenty Beauty in Shady Biz today. This is not light, but it is a little bit more of a lighter, like not heavy bronze shade, not too orange. I would usually use a deeper bronzer just because I like that look a little bit more, but with something like with an eye look so soft like this one, I feel like you can't really go in with a super heavy bronzer. I'm not even gonna contour or anything today, not that I do that like very often, but I just feel like this sort of makeup look just calls for still like a defined look, but not like super heavy on the contour side, which is why I'm using this lighter bronzer. Sorry, my ear is so red. It is so itchy. I think I actually got like frostbite on my ear because one day when I was walking to class this week, I forgot my hat, and honestly the weather has been so like fluctuating here. One day it'll be in like the 50s or like high 40s and sunny, and then the next day it is like 20 some degrees and really windy and cold. And so the one day it was like I wasn't expecting it to be cold because the day before had been fine, and I forgot to take my hat with me while I was walking to class, and obviously the wind blowing, it really agitated my ear apparently. And then I went inside and it was obviously warmer inside than it was outside, and I just think that that was too much for my ear to handle. And now it's all red and itchy. It feels like, you know, when you would go outside and play in the snow when you were a kid, and then you would come back inside and just feel like that kind of rush of warmth and your skin would get like super hot and all of that. Well, that's how my ear feels constantly after that day. And I've tried like moisturizing it and whatnot, but it's not good. I'm gonna take this on to my neck a little bit because this foundation is a little bit yellow for me, so I feel like I need a little bit there. And then for blush today, we're actually gonna go in with this Ciate London blush that I got from Ipsy. I will link my Ipsy video up there if you want to watch that. But I really love this blush. It is kind of like one of those, it kind of reminds me of the Milani baked blushes because it kind of has this shimmer in it. But I think this is so pretty, especially for this kind of softer look. I think these sort of illuminating blushes look so pretty because they're not super heavy and they kind of give like a sheen to the cheeks. I hate that I have this super dry patch right here, and it's also red, and it's right where my blush goes, so it's so hard to cover it up because all of this just like kind of intensifies it. But I can't like not put blush there because then it would look like super weird if it was just like plain there, you know? So we'll just have to deal with that. But lastly, I'm gonna go in, well not lastly because we still have to do our lips, but lastly for the face, I'm gonna go in with highlighter today. I'm gonna use the Becca highlighter in Opal. I really love this stuff for kind of intenser looks. This just makes your skin look so wet and pretty, and I think that it is perfect for this dewy soft glam look. I'm not gonna take it like too far, but kind of just focus it right there on the cheekbones, and then I'm gonna put some on my nose because I love having a dewy bright nose, and right here on my cupid's bow too, a little bit above the arches of my eyebrows, and our face is all done. So lastly, before we set our face, we're gonna go in with the lips, and the lip combo that I'm about to show you is one of my favorites. I actually shared it with you guys in my Valentine's Day lip video, but I am obsessed with this, especially for this kind of makeup look. So first, I'm gonna go in and line my lips and also fill in my lips with this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Wherever Walnut. And I'm just gonna, like I said, line. Sorry, it's really hard to talk while I'm doing that. I'm gonna line and fill in my lips with this shade, and it's really pretty. It's like a mauvey, like peachy nude. because we are going to go in with something over top of it, and it is pretty forgiving, at least with my lip color, because it kind of matches it. But we are gonna add on top a gloss. I personally like using the Moonchild gloss from ColourPop. This is also a collab with Kathleen Lights, but you can honestly take whatever other gloss that you may have. I would recommend either like a nude based gloss like this one, or just like a sheer like clear gloss. The Marc Jacobs glosses work really well with this too. But I am gonna take this and kind of just focus it on the inner part of my lips, and then just kind of pucker them together to kind of diffuse it a little bit. But I think that this combo looks so pretty, and it is like pretty natural, but you still look like really juicy, and your lips kind of do look a little bit more plump and defined. So that is one of my favorite things to do with this eye look especially. And then lastly, to finish everything off, we are gonna go ahead and set our face. I feel like setting your face, I have to do it every day, unless, I mean, sometimes I forget, but I usually do like set my face every day, just because I feel like it really helps the makeup sink into my skin. And because I have dry skin, I feel like makeup doesn't always sink in the best, but when I remember to use a setting spray, my face always looks so much better. I don't know why I said so much, but the setting spray we're going to use today is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is my all-time favorite one to use, the Milani Make It Dewy, I think that's what it's called. That one is really good too. I've tried the Anastasia Dewy Setting Spray. That one's alright, a little bit intense, but hands down my favorite is the Morphe one, because everything just sinks into the skin so well with this. And I usually just like to sit and let my makeup dry for a few seconds after setting my face with that, because my eyelashes always get black underneath my eyes whenever my face is wet from the setting spray. So that is why I feel like a robot right now. So that completes this soft glam makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of my all-time favorite looks to do. I just think that it looks so natural and pretty, but also really glam and like you tried. And it is honestly really easy to create too. You don't have to use the So Jaded palette. You can honestly use any sort of like lighter, neutral, peachy eyeshadow that you have. Another great palette to do this with is the ColourPop Dream Street palette, because it does have these sort of like peachy colors in it as well. And this one is a little bit cheaper. The So Jaded one I think is like $36 or $38, and this one is definitely under $20 from ColourPop. They also have so many affordable other palettes at ColourPop that have like these sort of neutrally peachy shades in them. But you can also find like e.l.f. shades, like the new little I forget what they're called, but e.l.f. has some really great shadows too, and a lot of drugstore brands like Milani has so many of these like lighter peachy shades to recreate this look with. So you definitely don't have to spend a lot of money on a high-end eyeshadow palette for this look, because it is so simple and so easy to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more makeup tutorials, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Before you leave, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays, so I would love to see you back here in a future video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.